these situations. She'll point to the universal theme and go, Mom, it's right there. And the mom's like, I can't believe I missed it. I said, in this situation, your 12-year-old daughter can comprehend better than you can. And she's dyslexic, and you're the one with a master's degree. Did I do my job? In which the mom said yes, because now her daughter's way ahead of everybody. So the key thing is you have to focus on their area of extreme interest and ability. That's their speciality, whatever it is. But to answer your question, what is dyslexia? Now we're going to get to it. The second step is you can't ask a dyslexic to go from the general to the specific. So you cannot ask a dyslexic, what effect did Martin Luther King's famous I Have a Dream speech have on the 1960 civil rights movement? It's like asking us to grab fog. We can't do it. But if you ask a specific to a general question, what compelled Martin Luther King to want to give his famous I Have a Dream speech? We can just look up in his biography on the answer. And that answer will give us another question. We answer that, which will give us another question. It forces, here's the key thing, it forces the brain to organize itself by using writing as a measurable output. So again, it forces the brain to organize itself by using writing as a measurable output. Okay, so let's go and examine that even closer. If you go to a dyslexic, here's how we answer your question, what is dyslexia really? If you ask a dyslexic in your speciality, do you have ideas flying around your head at light speed? Key question, but with little to no organization. Again, in your speciality, do you have ideas flying around your head at light speed, but with little to no organization? We're going to say yes. So again, we have to force the brain to organize itself by using writing as a measurable output. So we start off with a speciality, our book, our audio book. We follow that with teaching specific to the general, and then word analysis followed by articulation. You do that for the intervention period until we're at grade level, and we're going to be fine. You try, while we're still way behind, you try to do what schools do, which is, instead of one book that we're really interested in, we do a whole bunch of books. Okay. Instead of teaching us from the specific to the general so we can grab on, we can organize our brain, they teach from the general to the specific, which is we can't respond to anything. And they certainly don't teach word analysis followed by articulation. So essentially, the public schools are essentially doing everything they can to make a dyslexic fail, but not on purpose. They're not doing it on purpose. I'm just going to go back to the research. Here's dyslexia again. The back part of the normal brain has massive neural activity. The dyslexic has next to none. The schools are set up to teach to the majority, to the 80+% who are not dyslexic. So let me give you an example of this, or we will accommodate you thing, which schools say all the time. For me, the sport that I'm horrible at is basketball. I'm horrible. What sport are you really, really bad at?
Me?
Yeah.
Baseball, because I never played baseball in my life. So,
But is there something that you're not because you haven't played it, you just stink at it? Some sport that you know
football.
you're
Football.
bad at.
I'm horrible at football.
Is that American football or European football?
European soccer, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we were to accommodate you, we're going to get you $1,000 cleats, shoes. We're going to get you a $500 socket, but we're going to get you the best equipment out there. And we're going to make the other kids wear you stuff from Walmart.
It
Are
doesn't
you
matter.
still it doesn't matter. You're going to still lose, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's because just physically, your body is not, you physically and mentally are not designed for soccer. But what if I were to tell your soccer or your version of football, if I were to tell you your economic life is dependent on your ability to be a good soccer/football player?
Then I become one.
Can,
No problem.
yeah, well, no, can you see no matter how hard you work, you would probably end up homeless?
No, I don't agree with that. I think everyone can learn anything. It's just a matter of time and practice.
And that's the misconception about dyslexia. Just work harder. Okay, let's go back to the science. Go and do really good on the back part of the brain where the gen ed student has this massive neuroactivity and we got next to nothing.
Yeah, but you're comparing a physical activity to a mental one, and as you already proved, everyone the brain of a dyslexic person is different. You cannot. I don't think this example applies.
Well, let me give you another example. I want, because this is just how I found people can relate to this better.
Unless
I,
just conclude, unless you're comparing a person who is perfectly fit with a person who has some physical disability when it comes to playing soccer, maybe then it's a good comparison, I would say.
Let me give you another example. When you were going to school, did you ever meet a boy who was he was average or above average in height, but just extraordinarily skinny?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to imagine that boy, and I want you to imagine, let's assume he's 16. And let's say we have a 16-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we put them on a weightlifting program. Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to develop very rapidly because his body's designed to do that. And no matter how hard the 16-year-old really skinny kid does, he's not going to ever come anywhere close because it's just genetically that his body's not meant to do this. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like telling that 16-year-old skinny kid, your economic value is dependent on how big you get being a weightlifter. And no matter what he does, no matter what accommodations you give him, the best weightlifting coach, you spend $10 million dollars on the best equipment, the best instruction, the best the best everything else. Arnold Schwarzenegger's eating at McDonald's and he's still going to develop so much fast because that's what his body is designed for.
I know that example makes a lot of sense, but I'm pretty sure Arnold Schwarzenegger took some steroids. But let's take that out of the equation. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, but even if he didn't, he would still be this huge big guy.
Yeah.
Not as big, but yeah.
Genetics play a huge role for sure.
Yeah. So what I'm just trying to say is the school's idea that we'll accommodate this doesn't work until we get the kid to grade level. So let me give you an example. I have full permission to tell her story. Her name was Kimberly, homeschooling mom. We met last December 2024. She spent $700 getting her kids tested by the state of Ohio. Her son Reed, who's 5th grade, 10 years old, reading at the mid-second grade level, he scored a 190 on that test. If he was in special education in public school for the rest of the school year, they expected him to increase by 2.8 points to a 192.8. Grade level on that test was 211. She worked with Reed half an hour a day, 3 days a week. I worked with her for half an hour a week. He didn't increase by 2.8 points. He increased by 20 points. So over a 3 standard deviation increase, 1 point below average for grade level. So what happened? Reed's friends came to him and said, "We want you in public school to be with us socially." So he and his younger brother decided to go to public school. His younger brother's not dyslexic, did just fine. If Reed did that in January, he would have been placed in special ed, away from his friends. He would have been extremely frustrated. But because of what his mother accomplished, he went into mainstream general education classes, and he's doing just fine. His mom solved in less than 6 months what specialized schools take years to do. That's how powerful this method is.
Hell yeah, man. I'm impressed. Russell, let's take a quick break. Let's start. I need to roll the sponsor commercial, and then we'll be right back. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, see you in a bit, everyone.